This is Three Beards Fight Talk with Craig, Chris, and Austin, where you find out your favorite MMA fighters' ice cream and everything else you really want to know because no one else asks the questions that we do. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Welcome to the Three Beards Podcast. My name is Craig, along with me, Chris, Austin, and we have with us the RIZE Fight Championship crew with us. This episode is brought to you, as always, by Brot's Beard Care. Amazing beard oil. I think when we talked up there to Gerardo, we're going to have to try to convince him to, try out some of that beard oil as well. It's amazing stuff,
Amen.
All natural. It's fantastic. And Kelly just came up with our own signature blend that he just rolled out on the website. So it's one of those. It is exclusively something that we came up with, and so that was pretty cool that he has that. So check him out at brotsbeardcare.com. So welcome to the show, gentlemen. Armando Gonzalez, CEO of RIZE. How are you, sir?
Excellent. How about you guys?
Good.
Really well. And
Amazing.
We got the videographer and photographer of RIZE, Mr. Gerardo Ramos. How are you, sir?
I'm good, gentlemen. Thank you.
Good. And then, Armando, I will let you introduce the gentleman to the square next to you there on who he is and what is going on that he is here to talk about.
Well, we got, as you guys mentioned, Gerardo. Gerardo handles all of our media, camera, design, videography, photography, and everything that you see about RIZE and Team MMA, he's the mastermind behind it, man. So,
oh wow!
Thanks, Gerardo.
Awesome. Wow.
And then to my right over here, what is that? What was that show that the Partridge Family where they had?
Yeah, kind of like the squares. Yeah.
All right. Well, this way. All right. To my right here, we got Jeremiah Rodriguez. He is
How you guys doing?
Team Fort Myers.
Packers.
What's up, Jeremiah?
All right. So
Not much, man.
Now, one of the things real quick. So he's Team Fort Myers. Now, which name is it? I've seen both the Sharks and the Warriors. Which one is it?
It's the Warriors now.
Warriors. Okay.
Yep.
That's what I wanted to double check that one too. So awesome. One of the things I wanted to mention about this one, because this is a fight format that's unlike anything I've seen, before, where you've got these teams. Now, what I would like you guys to help other people with that may not have heard anything about it. What is the overall kind of idea behind this with the teams? What is the goal of having this team versus this team?
Well, I mean, the mastermind behind this, I mean, to put it all in a nutshell, a lot of these guys, a lot of these fighters out here, everybody's like, hey, I'm number one, I'm the best, I'm all this and I'm all that. Well, this is actually going to prove who's number one in the state of Florida in those weight divisions and where they're coming from. So we have 8 weight divisions. From flyweight all the way up to super heavyweight, and these guys are going to battle it out in their teams. 8 different. We got 9 teams right now, and each one has however many members of the team that they can have, and this will truly, for us, determine who really is number one in the state of Florida.
So is that basically like a semi-preliminaries to get on the main card? So are the teams gonna battle it out, and then the best 2 is gonna go to get on the main card?
Pretty much, yes. I mean, we're still gonna do a few of our, regular bouts. The main event will still be a main event. Our co-main event will still be a co-main event. The undercard will be all Team MMA. So towards the end of the event, which we hope to have, sometime in December, will be the actual final championships. those will be the guys that headline the co-main event and the main event.
Okay.
Okay, this one. So, David, I'd like to welcome you to the program too. Join in there. I don't want to ignore you as you're sitting there. Thank you for joining us. Armando, now what team is he involved with?
David Trosh is Palm Beach Punishers.
Palm Beach Punishers.
The Palm Beach Punishers. I was going to say the Palm Beach Playboys, but he doesn't like that.
So yeah, that's awesome. That's fantastic. No, so so I just I was telling you prior to coming on, you're like fanboying out of this thing. I was looking at this thing. I'm like, all right, so here's all these teams. So I was envisioning as this expands, this is almost like a round robin. And that's why I was curious. Is it each one of these teams now, do they all compete at the same time at some of these events? Now, is there like a split?
Yeah, we're going to try to have as many. I mean, right now we have a shortened season. So, we're going to try to fill up as many as possible on one card. But yeah, I mean, we have 4 months until the end of the year. After we announce, I think I may have given that away just now, but when we announce our final date of when the tournament is actually going to start, we'll have 4 months of straight, fight after fight, possibly every 2-3 weeks, we'll be having an event.
See, and that's awesome because now, like I said, you could have the Punishers versus, versus the Warriors. Now, would that be an entire card? So now you just have a list like that's like a card fight, and because that's what I was going to ask you if that could end up being that way to where
it
like
could
a regional
possibly
battle.
be, yeah.
You could have Georgia versus Florida, and now you got the Georgia team versus the Florida team, and now you could have a whole card.
Eventually, next year, that's where we're headed. For state to state.
That's awesome.
And then we plan on breaking it into the pro world as well.
That's awesome by design. I mean, you came up with a really good idea there. I mean, I think if you can compare states together and do like a whole MMA tournament, I think that'll really be successful.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea of this again is to actually bring out, who these fighters, who the best fighters are really, because I mean, if you really think about the MMA platform right now, you have these, great promotions here in Florida. You got, I'll throw out a good few names, XFN, Combat Night, PFL, you got Titan in the pro world. I mean, these are all great promotions. I'm actually taking myself out of competing with them. So now I'm not competing with these guys anymore. I'm going to pretty much, get in my own different lane than what they are, because these fighters, when they fight for those promotions, they're just, a lot of them are just fighting to fight. And, some of them are competing to be, to have the belt, but the fighters' train of thought is, let me get as many amateur fights so I can turn pro. Let me get as many pro fights. I want to be, 7-0, 8-0, so I can get into the UFC. So what we're doing now is we're taking these fighters and we're giving them a reason to actually go in there and fight. Now you're fighting for your city. Now you're not just now you don't just have your fans, like your cousin, your aunt, your mother, your grandfather. Those aren't the only ones that are coming to see you. Now you have a whole city that's going to be cheering you on. And on top of that, your other teammates are going to be cheering you on as well. So now these fighters are having actual real purpose to actually fight, not just fighting to fight,
That is brilliant.
So like Jeremiah and David. So, you guys, so is that one of the things, like, do you guys have that, complete ability to go out and recruit for your teams? Or is this something that, you have to bring the ideas, like, I really like this guy, I really like this girl, I really think they're going to make a great asset to the team. Now, do they bring that to, do you go to Armando and say, this is who I would love to have on this team to, fight for my city?
Me in particular, what I'm going to do is kind of go around to all the local talent here in Southwest Florida and just approach them with the idea and let them know what Armando's trying to do, and then try to have like a tryout. Bring as many guys from different weight classes together and get them all on the mat at the same time and figure out, who really wants it the most and who's going to represent the city the best. That's how I'm going to do it. I don't know about all the other teams.
What? Oh, dude, how about you?
I'm kind of doing the same thing. I mean, I have some key fighters already, but
Trash talk is starting already.
You hear me?
Yeah, I was like, ooh, the trash talk is starting already.
But I'm also recording as well.
He's ahead of you.
I'm also recruiting as well, looking for some key fighters to represent Palm Beach. So, I'm keeping everything open. If you want it, if the fighters want it, they can compete for it.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys know, but this format as well is for the team captains. There's a challenge there for them as well. Normally we would have had a full season for the team captains. So we do have a team captain bonus. In the full season we would have had a $5,000 cash bonus for the team captains.
Oh, nice.
This year we'll since it's a shortened season and we're just giving it a go with this whole COVID situation. It's up to $2,500 right now. So they also have a challenge in front of them, a strategic challenge. They want to get as many fighters in, and get as many wins as possible because that's what's going to give them the $2,500 bonus.
Nice. That was kind of one of the things. Like, I mean, Jordan, let's be honest. What I'm listening to right now is that you're going to have to bring on a full crew to help you out with this because you're going to run out of time. You're going to have so many activities going on. It's going to be hard for you to go out and film and video all of this action.
He's going to be a busy man.
Hey, I work fast, man. It's all good.
Yeah, it's just that was the part that I loved about this idea. Is just like you said, it was a little bit like the way, if you listen to the intro, it's kind of like us. We like to ask the real weird, oddball questions that you guys don't normally get, because anybody can. You're not going to be able to compete with the big dogs. It's just like you said. It's like, well, we're not going to be able to go toe to toe right now with UFC, but this is something that the UFC Bellator aren't doing, and this is going to set you guys apart to where even like just a novice like me is like, this is something completely different. This is going to be awesome to watch because now this is like expands something that was a little kind of like reality TV thing on the UFC does for their next their next fighter, and now you've expanded it to where this is not everybody competing for one spot. This is everybody just going out to get themselves known, which is amazing.
Right, and that's a big confidence boost for the fighters, man. Granted, the UFC is the biggest platform. Bellator is another big one. There's quite a few of them that are bigger, but I'm a little guy, man. I'll never get back. UFC's, that's it, man. Nobody's gonna ever get as big as the UFC. I don't think. Maybe
don't undersell you. Don't undersell yourself on this one, man. This might be the thing that helps you propel you.
But now this will kind of separate itself from that. Now this is a totally different format. Like you said, it's some people have tried it. I'm not gonna lie, it has been kind of done out there. So, but not to the level that I'm thinking. And I just wish I had a magic wand to just get this all rolled out and get it done right now. Just like, let's go.
So is it gonna be
talks about that? He talks about that all the time, about that magic wand. But I think it's what is going to separate us kind of is we're going to share the story from each team. And we want the team, like the cities from each team, to fall in love with that team. You know what I mean? So I think that's an angle that we're going to go on, where we want to really expose these guys. You know what I mean? So that's kind of on my shoulders because I'm the creative content guy. But we'll see how it goes, man. I really have good ideas for moving forward.
So is it going to be a point system based? So y'all do a tournament. Let's just say Florida, South Florida, and Fort Myers. Is it going to be like a point system based? If 5 of the fighters from Fort Myers win, and 2 of the fighters win from South Florida, is it going to be like a stat system, like a point system? So to get the... Go ahead. I'm
In the
sorry.
beginning, yeah, we had it set up like that. Being that it was going to be a full season, we were supposed to start this back in, I guess sometime in March, April, somewhere around there. We were supposed to start with, getting it all going. Our website, and our brackets and our stat system is set up that way. But this year, we're not going to roll with any type of point system. We're just getting in there, getting some of the guys going. For the team captains, yes, it is a point system for the team captains. Obviously, each match won is a point for them. So the team captain with the most points, wins the challenge, man.
Definitely.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. I was looking at the website and it still says, stay tuned. So, we're breaking right here.
We have it like almost there. I just don't. It's live, but you can't see it because you don't know the shortcuts. But
that's right. Yeah.
But some of it is like where if you go to our website and you see Team MMA will get you in there to the team captains, and it also will get you down to the brackets for the different weight classes. We only have like 3 weight classes that are being shown, and everything says TBD. I'm sorry, to be determined. So a lot of that stuff is not put in, but it is live. It is, and also the point system and the standings, the league standings and all that. It is there, but you just can't see it. We haven't made it.
I just clicked it and actually just brought up. It shows the 8 team captains.
Right. That's team captains. If you go back, you'll see another image that'll show you the brackets and schedules.
Nice.
And that's
that's everybody that's listening, or watching, go to rizefc.com. Yeah, you can check that out for too. Show these guys some support and stuff, definitely, because this is, while we're kind of talking like supporting you guys too, how are these going to be available for people to see? Because obviously right now, not a lot of tickets being sold, to go watch these things. So if I wanted to watch Jeremiah and David's teams duke it out, where am I going?
I can't elaborate on that a little too much yet, but you'll be able to catch it.
All right, just
everybody will know about it pretty soon.
Nobody else is watching. You just tell them.
So
that'll be something that we have a little thing that we call the draw, where there'll be 8 bowls. Kind of like I don't know if you guys watch the World Cup, but there'll be a draw system. Mm-hmm. We'll have the 8 bowls, and we'll have 2 of the cage girls there. One of them, let's say for instance, we'll have the bantamweight bowl. One cage girl pulls out a name, and the other cage girl pulls out a name. So that's live right there. The actual cage girls will actually be the matchmakers. So that it's plain and simple. None of these matches are going to be strategized or anything like that. It's plain and simple. It's this person versus that person. We will have to adjust that. I'm not going to lie, because if we do have a 3-0 guy that comes up and we draw a 9-0 guy, that's kind of a little unfair. So we'll kind of adjust that a little bit, but it'll be, like I said, it'll be a draw system right there in plain sight, in front of everybody, and it'll be live streamed. And on that day is when we're going to announce some big announcements where you can see this and all of that.
Those will be the big trash.
I'll tell you this: it'll definitely be a big network. So.
Oh yeah! All right. Well, that's what I can't tell you, man. This is exciting. I mean, you want to talk about this? This kind of rolls everything. The NBA lottery type thing is like everybody's waiting for that lottery ball to come up.
Right.
Jeremiah said, David, like, come on. Yeah. We got to, I go, that's what you want. That's awesome.
I did want to mention real quick about the website, man, that the way he kind of got it set up is really interesting. So if you decide to click on a specific coach, you can see who he has on his team. When you click on the team members, the fighters, you'll see all his fights that he had with RIZE. You'll see all the photos that he had with RIZE. You can even buy that person's merchandise. So they're gonna, you know, he's gonna promote that individual fighter as well, which is really cool.
That's
Yeah,
really
David Troche's profile is the only one that has a full profile that you can see. It's still not arranged the right way. It's still not, you know, there's just names that we threw in there for the
Yeah, I
fighters,
can
but
see
you
that.
can see his is a full profile. It
Yep,
has a
I see that.
history, it has other fights, it has images, it has other fighters, and when you click on those fighters, it goes to their profiles. So it's a pretty well. That system is pretty. I mean, I haven't seen anybody around with that type of website around yet. So
No, I just watch it. I mean, that's cool because it's one of those, as a fan, I can give you that feedback. I've always, when I've talked to people about it, it's the term called friction. The harder it is for somebody to find something, the more likely they are to just say, screw it, I'm done.
And just click it
Yeah.
off.
right.
Just walk away. And like you said, this
Yeah,
one, if I'm
100%.
looking for information, if I can do it just like that. So it's Team MMA, shows me the coaches, shows me the play. I click on him, boom, there's a team. And then it shows me all the information right here. I go, it's one,
Right.
the more I'm on your site, the more it's going to benefit you because I'm more likely to hit the shop. You know, other stuff.
Right, and there's going to be a lot of backlinks. There's going to be a lot of backlinks. You'll be able to find very easily what you're looking for.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I can see that too. Especially, is there going to be like apparel, you know, like team apparel, you know, so that way if you know I'm,
Yep.
you know, I'm wanting to support Fort Myers, you know, like that's my thing. You know, I can buy, you know, Team Fort Myers gear.
Oh yeah, yeah. We just
cool.
actually met up with an apparel company this past week, and did a pretty big deal with them as well. So they will announce them as well, where you can buy all your gear, you know, for the teams and all the fighters kind of stuff as well.
That's pretty cool. I like that. That's you've made it. You guys, you know, kind of go not to puff you up too. You know, like I said, you guys did an awesome job. So you know where it's at right now looks fantastic. You know, great job.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So
Really appreciate it, man.
yeah, and you know, Debbie just like, I can't wait. You know, she's looking forward to it. And you know, I'm sure she, out of all of us, is the one that's the most desperate to get to it.
I know. She's itching. And, you know, I think she's got the fever about as much as I do, man. I just want to get this done and go out and see some guys kick some ass, man.
That's
yeah.
fun.
And one of the ones, like we've had both of them on. I want to bring that up too. Trap Gambino, Marquise Faith, because this is an unusual, as we talked to him, this is a very unusual weight class, the super heavyweight. Like I was
super heavyweight, right?
This is the one where when you were just at a point where, oh, you're too light, you got to run to Little Caesars and eat a pizza real quick so you can make it to that weight class. So I was like, how did this come about?
What, Punishers? Or
No,
what was that?
No, he was just put.
Oh, the Trap Gambino.
Yeah, the Trap Gambino, Marquise Faith. How did because he's out of Vegas and Marquise Faith out of Atlanta. So how did you come about landing these two fighters and putting them together for this fight?
Well, Trap Gambino and I have we've been on the internet, you know, and talking for quite a bit, and you know, his wife, you know, has been in a few MMA battles, and he was just getting into it, and you know, I guess he's a pretty popular guy in Vegas, you know.
Yes.
You know, so I mean, as soon as Jesus, man, as soon as I announced his fight, I got just a ton. I mean, like I've never had so many hate mail, so much hate mail ever. But you know, and I was like, Jesus, man. So this guy's got all these haters. I just gotta get him in there, man. You know, a lot of people are gonna be watching.
Oh yeah.
So
no, go ahead, Chris.
Can you drop the bomb? When are we expecting this showdown? I heard a date, but we got you on. Is it coming up, or you know, you don't know, or it's in the air?
It's coming up. It's been coming up. It was supposed to happen April 25th, and it was supposed to happen July 4th weekend. Now I'm gonna have to push it off. Right now, as I think it's gonna end up being in September. It's just, they both, and I told them I can do a no fans show, but both of them agreed that they want fans, there to see the actual fight. So, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. They want fans. So, as soon as we can get some type of notification from the cities that I can have a show with fans, that's happening. I mean, because I'm calling these cities every day. I mean, sometimes 2-3 times a week. Somewhere where I can do a show where there's fans. I already have a location where we can do up to about 200 to 300 fans. They're just confirming that, pretty much if they can 100% do that, because it goes by their capacity, and their 50% capacity is that about 200-300 people.
That's awesome. I mean,
so are we announcing Rize's fight key now? Since we can't have Fight Island, it's already taken. So you're just going to announce Rize's fight key. You're going to be out on some sandbar with a cage up there.
Yeah, dude. I'm eager to get going, but I'm also just, hey, look, it's going to happen whenever it's meant to be. It's going to happen sometime soon. I'm not going to be like some of these guys. I'm the only one doing fights right now. Hey, go ahead. Go ahead with that shit. I'm good, man. I'll strategize. I'll do my thing when I'm supposed to do it, and hopefully we'll have a good turnout. I mean, it'll definitely be a good turnout, whether it's live or online. Again.
Now, before I forget, it was one of those things I wanted to ask this question too. We'll just use, since they're both on, Jeremiah and David, they're slated to fight each other, their teams. Now, where are these fights going to be held? Is it going to be like home turf to where David would go to Jeremiah's city, or are we going to do like a neutral zone fights?
Well, the idea of that, again, going back to a full season, yes, that was the idea, that we would have an event at each city. Obviously where the fighters are coming from, whether it was up in Orlando, Jacksonville, Fort Myers, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, wherever it was, we were going to do an event there. Each show is going to be a different location. I'll tell you that much right now. Excuse me. The first one is actually going to be here in Palm Beach, but the followings are going to be in certain cities, which obviously which the team captains are representing. We will be in different.
I saw the Orlando right there, and I'm like, yes, there's something close. I'm like, it'll be easy to get that. So now we'll be able to see. Yes. So if that's hopefully we're still one of the teams that's still part of us. Please tell me they're still alive.
Where are you guys out of?
We're right outside of Winter Garden, the Coe.
Okay, and, close to Orlando, yeah.
Yep. So we're real close by.
Well, that'd be awesome if you guys could be there for the Orlando show, then. You can actually do a live broadcast from there.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I would love to.
That'd be cool.
Like I said, and then as the season gets in, now we can have David with bringing their teams. I mean, it would be cool to actually go up and shake your hands, like, man. Now I get to actually say you guys, meet you in person as opposed to a distance. That would be pretty cool.
I like the format. If we had the whole season and everybody was able to do one show in each city, I think that's pretty cool. But even if we don't get to do that, we get to travel to a couple different cities. I think that's still pretty cool.
I mean, the strategy is to be for a team to actually have some type of home field advantage. So we will be, bringing the show to each city, even as the short season that we have right now, we're still going to be able to achieve that.
Nice. That's kind of back to what we talked about earlier too, and that's the part that's cool is because before it would be something like for the card that you'd hold down south, South Beach, you might have Jeremiah versus David on the card, and that's it. Well, now you've got all of these people that are on a card that you can watch here, and then you've got all these people on a card over here. You've got them in so many different areas. So now instead of having 2 to 4 fighters, once a month, I think now you're talking dozens of fighters that are getting exposure. People are watching them fight,
Right.
which is incredible, especially for the fighters. And now that's the key. Get your face on, out in there, so that way people can see you fight. I mean, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, and that's something, like I said, that's one of our goals. Great format to do this in. This whole team MMA format, but for us, it's about getting that exposure for the guys, for the fighters that are actually in there brawling and entertaining fans. So again, we'll be announcing something pretty big on a platform where these guys are going to be able to achieve that goal.
Nice. And then it's, Debbie just posted a question there, the captains, are you guys ready for this? And then the corners. So is this going to be basically like full fight? I mean, you're going to have complete fighter with their corner, going in there, or is this, is there something a little different about this format?
No. I mean, each fighter has their own teams. I mean, their own coaches. Again, the team captains are there to strategize the team, to put a great team together. And I'm sure that's what these guys are doing. I mean, David's, he's got a couple of good guys. Jeremiah, I mean, I don't know if you guys know Jeremiah's background, but Jeremiah, tell them who you've coached in the past.
Yeah, I've actually got to work with a lot of high level guys over the years. I was a coach here in Cape Coral for the American Top Team for a while, and I brought Nico Price along, and I've worked with Miguel Baeza, and I got fortunate enough to work with like Gaya and a few other youth.
Wow,
I've been blessed in that sense. And now, like I was saying before, with the last podcast, I like working with young fighters. I like working with amateurs. A lot of coaches like guys that already have, talent, and they're athletic, and they already have, a bunch of pro fights, and they're already molded. I like starting from scratch. So me personally, I like this format. I like the challenge of working with young guys, and watching the progression. It's like kids, and so the gym and the fighters are like my kids. I get to watch them grow. So anytime that there's a chance to work with amateurs or beginning pros, I'm always in it. I really enjoy that part of mixed martial arts.
That's awesome.
That's a piece of art that you have there. When you can mold a piece of clay into a great fighter, and he gets his first knockout, you feel like, okay, I've coached him. He went in there and got his first knockout. I mean, that's a great talent, because not everybody have the patience to work with somebody. That kick is wrong. I can't, So at the end of the day, I mean, you got a great talent there. And I know when you get, how does it feel when they get their first knockout? You're like, oh, he got it.
That's a great question, and it's a love-hate to it at the same time, because when you win, when they get hurt or they lose, you get hurt and you lose. So there's a constant up and down. But to watch the progression or watch them win their fights, and use technique that you taught them or that you helped them, put into their toolbox. There's nothing that describes it. It's like teaching your kid. If you have a child, how to read and write or how to walk, and you watch them running, or you teach them how to play a sport, and you watch them get good at it. It's exciting, So it is awesome. It is. You do have to have a lot of patience. I like working with kids. Like, my thing is, a lot of coaches don't like really working with young kids. I have my gym. I start from 5 years up, and I think my kids' classes not only are my favorite classes, but they make me a better coach. I learn how to be patient. And sometimes I'll teach techniques to kids, and then I see the way they pick it up or the way they think about the technique, and it kind of helps me go into my adults class and say, I never thought about this, because the child is so basic sometimes, and they're so raw that they'll ask some of the best questions, and it'll enlighten me a little bit to be able to be like, what, I never thought of it like that. Then when I go to teach it to the adults, I find myself all the time seeing things that I've taught to a child and then going and teaching it to adults in a different manner, the way that I approach it. So, like, it's just, for me, I know a lot of coaches, like I said, that I've come across, they might not be the most patient, but I think that's what makes a good coach is you being patient and being persistent. And like you said, oh, that's a bad kick, but you keep staying on them until the kick is perfect. That's pretty much it.
So, David, what are you looking for? What do you prefer, like, when you're recruiting style?
Say it again.
Yeah, what are you looking for?
Just to let you guys know a little bit of background on David as well. David is actually a professional fighter, and he had, he's when we did a few of our pro shows, he's fought twice for us and has won twice by knockout.
Nice.
So he's an actual pro fighter.
Just
as Jeremiah was explaining.
Yeah, hold on. David is a badass. Let's just be clear about that. David is a bad dude.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to leave it in the hands of those three people sitting at the table. He's going to make sure he goes out with a W. Awesome. So, yeah, what are you looking for when you're recruiting?
You know what? I know a lot of young fighters out here coming up already. So I'm just looking for the one that's open for the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? The one that's hungry and wants it. A hungry fighter and a good fighter, the hungry fighter always wins. That's my personal opinion. So if you're hungry, you can win. Yeah. And I'm looking for guys that want to win.
Nice. All right. So, listen, so you said you've already started building the team. So, Jared, it sounds like you got to, you got to make those selections quick. He's jumping ahead of you.
Yeah, I gotta put a team together pretty quick.
Yeah,
I agree with David. It is important for the guys that want it. Like, you can have guys that are talented that just maybe not, don't want it. They don't have that work ethic. You can take a guy that talented as a guy that he's about to fight, but he's a lot more hungry and he wants it more. And 9 times out of 10, that guy will win the fight. Sometimes it's not always about technique. It's also about, the heart and how you approach the fight, your mentality. David knows he's a pro fighter. Mentality is key. I always say it all the time. When you train, 10%, going into like a camp, 10% to 20 is maybe mental, and 80 to 90 is physical because you're going through that grind every day. But as soon as you walk into the competition, it becomes 90 to 80 to 90 mental, and 10 to 20 physical because you've done the preparation. Now the mind has to push the body to do what it needs to do that, and the guy that wants it is usually going to win.
Yeah, that's cool. The more we talk about this, the more I'm getting excited. Let's just do it. Let's just get it done. Let's just next week. Let's just start. No, we can't. Let's just start. Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, the only thing that's missing from this year so far is Godzilla. Let's just be honest.
He's coming.
That's the only thing that hasn't happened is some mega monster coming out of the ocean. Godzilla destroying stuff. Everything else has gone wrong this year. It's like
Armando,
we need to get slapped either back to 20 actually ahead to 2021 so I can get a full season.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. All right, well, gentlemen, I really appreciate you guys coming on and talking about this.
Definitely, it was a pleasure to have you on. We'll keep a lookout for your show, Armando. You said Orlando show. We'll definitely keep a lookout. We'd love to come and check you out.
Absolutely, I'll keep you guys posted and give you some dates shortly here. I think that by next week we'll be ready to announce some dates on some up and coming stuff. But thank you guys very much for your time and your support, man.
Oh, you guys are most welcome. Jeremiah, best of luck to you, sir, and your team.
So let him plug his team.
Yep.
Go ahead and plug your team. You got some fighters that want to come and train with you. Go ahead and plug your gym, and then David, go ahead and plug your gym.
Yeah, Futures Mixed martial arts. Anybody's out there that's in the Southwest area and wants to try out for this team, contact me on Facebook, Instagram, or through my website. And like I said, we're looking for guys in this area that really want to fight and want to represent Fort Myers area. So, thank you again, guys, for having me on, and I'm looking forward to the beginning of this.
It's actually the Warriors. I think that was the old image there. So yeah, we got the Sharks one, the Warriors. Yeah. So Dave, go ahead and plug your thing there, sir.
Yeah, same thing, guys. Listen, don't be afraid to reach out. If you're hungry, looking to fight, you can get in contact with me with David Troach MMA on Instagram and Facebook.
Nice.
Again, thank you, fellas.
Hey, you're welcome. Gerardo, is there anything you want to plug, sir, since we got here? Top, middle, square?
No, just stay tuned to what the content we're going to be putting on RIZE, man. I'm proud of the stuff that we've done, and I'm proud of what we're going to do in the future. So stay tuned.
All right. And then my man here, besides
Armando,
RIZE.com.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys having us on. And, to all the fighters that are out there, look out for this new format that we have, Team MMA. If you guys want a piece of it, how you can find us. RIZE Fighting on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yep, we'll promote that.
Or RIZE FC.
You got a fan here, so I'm going to be paying attention and tweeting like crazy, about it as it's coming up. So,
Nice.
Thank you, gentlemen. You guys have a fantastic night.
Definitely keep you guys in communication.
Thank you,
Yeah,
gentlemen. You guys
you.
having a good night.
Have a great night.
Stay safe.
Have a good night.
All right, Austin. So Austin's back. We had so many. He had to play producer.
I had in my little mic. It didn't show me muted. So I'm trying to talk, but I'm like, all right, whatever. So I just sat back.
So for everybody that thought that we just thought Viking wasn't worthy to be on this program, he was in the background. So
He took the ultimate sacrifice tonight, so I know sometimes my beautiful face will be off camera too.
I took the ultimate sacrifice to post the wrong photos. That's my job.
You're fired. You're fired.
Well, the host of the show, Craig, said, go to Instagram. They have all the team names. I'm like, all right. Oh, wrong one. Awesome. Great.
I know. That's what I was talking, because I looked at it and they, some of them ones changed. I'm like going, oh.
He gets A for effort. I mean, their face was like he tried. I mean, like, oh, not bad.
I wasn't sitting back on my phone the entire time, so.
Hey, 2 out of the 3 words were correct. We got Fort Myers. We got the right thing. But once again, I cannot thank Armando, Gerardo, Jeremiah, David, for coming on and telling us all about it. Because I don't know, but like few guys are the same way. But just from the minute I heard about this format style, I was just like, because that's, for me, one of the crazy part about it is, it's like I was thinking, is just when you have, like UFC that just happened here. I mean, you've got, I'm trying to think how many fights was there? Was there 9 or was there 10? Let's just say, just for a quick math, let's say 10. So that, that's 20 fighters total. So out of all this fight pool, you've got 20 people that are going to compete. Well, now we're talking 9 teams. And if each one of these teams, say they have like a 10-fight card, like I said, we'll get all the other details, but say, like I said for the math, each one of these teams has 10 guys and girls all mixed. I mean, you're talking a full fight card every time one of these teams is competing. And so if you have 4 or 5 of these teams a month, that's 4 or 5 RIZE fight cards around the state of Florida every month. I go, this is incredible. I go, now you have somebody that would have to wait to fight each month, like wait a couple months to get on a card, is now going to get themselves exposure all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Justin says, this is the PFL format. Yeah. And that's, yeah, we got to see some of those fights on Tight Man. Those were really good. I was pleasantly surprised with a few of those.
I know it's okay, but I mean, we're the last ones promoted. Cam Newton went to the Patriots, everybody. So
Wow, that's a whole nother show.
1 year deal. It's MMA, but we're still a sports podcast. Got to drop the news.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see if the league even kicks off on that one. But I know what your guys' thoughts are. That was the part that got me so excited about this format, was just the fact of how many people are going to get inside the cage and fight it out now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great thing. I love it. I mean, it's a great thing. That's why I asked him about the point system, kind of like NASCAR. You got teams. So, I mean, he said it was going to initially be a point system, but, with the whole pandemic thing, it had to cut the season short. So they're just going to do captains' points. But it was awesome. I mean, it's going to work perfect. I mean, don't know why it didn't work for whoever else tried it, but it sounds like it's really going to work here.
Yeah, Debbie, we will get a picture of Chris to you. I already gave him a hard time for being lazy. So he's going to get it out to you. Yeah, so, yep. No, but one of those, everybody, RIZEFC.com, bookmark that page, follow it, just check that out, because that could be something really cool to see as those teams fill the names out. You get all the gear. The fact that, if your team is, Palm Beach, like I said, if that's where you're from, well, now you've got basically a fight team you can root for, local team. You can wear the gear. So
you're not voting for one fighter. You have a whole team. Like you're going
you're basically taking almost the soccer mentality of, this is my team, this is my town. This, you're putting this on. Now you're competing around. So you've basically taken like the Premier League type thing and wrapped it all into the state of Florida. Now this is Florida competing against Florida. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But no, so everybody check that out.
Stay tuned. It's coming.
So watch for that. We'll tweet and forward that stuff as it goes as well. And then, but as always, this has been brought to you by BrotsBeardCare.com. Use promo code 3beards, and that's with a capital B. Get 20% off your entire order. Free shipping, as always, with his products. They're made all natural ingredients, handmade by Kelly Brott and his bearded gnomes that he keeps locked up. He makes them work 24 hours a day so he can just sit back and just read the rewards of their fantastic concoctions that they create every single day.
Not the only way.
Yes.
Did we do an episode about his elves working, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, we would have to figure out where he even found these beard oil, creating bearded gnomes. Yeah. Nanny Cakes, Nancy Burt, go to Nanny Cakes 407 on Facebook, or give her a phone call at 407-923-2898. Central Florida area. She is going to take care of your cake needs. And you mention us and us three bearded lovelies, and you are going to get 15% off that cake order, which is a fantastic deal. So everybody, do us a favor. Social medias, like, subscribe, follow. It takes you mere seconds. It means the world to us because it's going to help us grow. So if you could just take that quick moment to like, share, wherever you're at. We are on Instagram at 3_beards_podcast. We're on Twitter at beards_podcast. YouTube, 3 Beards Podcast. Just like I said, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, follows, wherever you are, just send this to people. And because the more people that find us, you're going to help out people like RIZE get the word out. Because when we talk about them, now you have more people that hear about it that wouldn't have heard about it before. So please, if you wouldn't mind helping us out, just take a couple of quick seconds, even on this episode. Just hit share. That's all you got to do. It's real.
Share.
Like, follow, share. 15
like,
seconds.
follow, share. Like, follow, share.
Yep. So we got coming up on Wednesday, we are going to be talking about SpaceX, and we are going to try to talk Austin off the ledge that he thinks Elon Musk is this, evil genius that's trying to dominate the world. I'm one of the ones. I think he's our modern day Tony Stark.
I told you, I believe the same thing. But honestly, why are we putting so many satellites up into space? We'll talk about it Wednesday.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that, and then right before that, we're going to have Jillian Savage Robertson on again to talk about that latest win, and
Beautiful.
just
Damn.
just how excited we were right there at the end for her to get that choke out. So check that out. We will be talking to both of those. So that one's going to be an early edition, 7:30. And then we will be normal time on Wednesday talking about the other topics, SpaceX. So thank you, everybody, for watching. We will talk to you later. Everybody, have a good night.
Good night. We'll see you soon.